Pinkies up.
You're good to go?
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, All Out was all out. AEW. Some fun matches, some botches, a lot of stuff to talk about with All Out. Also, beginning with All Out, us right here at Breaking Down the Ring are now in contention with Pro Wrestling Scorecards again. That is right. Pro Wrestling Scorecards, Breaking Down the Ring, best of the scorecards for the rest of the year. We'll get into All Out that and more this week as we
break the ring down.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
I've been 316 since I just whipped your ass. You just made the list. This right here is a family.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is the Smoke Show, Scarlet Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The After Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
And you're listening
to
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Bring it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening, you are watching, you are paying attention to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Hi, I'm Smitty.
I am Nick. I am Z.
I am who is I am. I mean, I am the almighty one, Mikey himself. All right. Fuck, man. There's so much to get into. WWE fucking over its talent, just like Nick was doing. All Out, plus Breaking Down the Ring versus Pro Wrestling Scorecards 4. We're going to get into a lot of this stuff. Let's talk about this first, man. This WWE sending out, Vince sending out a thing saying, you are using your shit in a way that is bad for us. Stop doing it. You can't do it anymore. We own you. Be done by October 2nd, 2020. This is causing a lot of uproar in the wrestling world because, as it currently states by their contract, they are independent contractors. So with independent contractors, they should be available to do whatever the fuck they want, wherever the fuck else, as long as they're not using the name that they can't use. People like AJ Styles, right? AJ Styles has a Twitch stream. Xavier Woods, he has the YouTube thing, but that's partnered with WWE, hence why he's had everyone come on. They're not really using their names, their WWE names, but they are given nicknames. You know, they get to pick a nickname, and that's what they're referred to as. This way, it's still not totally intellectual property of WWE. But remember, they're I'm going to go from the Wrestling Inc. link. Link. Ramming like the Sousa doctors. This is what it states from Wrestling Inc., written by Raj Giri. Excuse me. It says Vince McMahon issued an edict this past week that talent can no longer, quote, engage with outside third parties, which would presumably include platforms like Cameo and Twitch. WWE held a call with talent last Sunday regarding the reinvention of the product. During the call, it was said that WWE owns the real names of talent, not just their character names. McMahon followed up by sending a letter on Thursday. McMahon wrote that it was imperative they promote and protect the brand in every conceivable way, and that talent have 30 days to stop engaging with third parties. Quote, Some of you are engaged with outside third parties using your names and likenesses in ways that are detrimental to our company. It is imperative that these activities be terminated within the next 30 days by Friday, October 2nd. Continued violations will result in fines, suspensions, or termination at WWE's discretion. End quote. McMahon wrote that these actions are necessary as part of WWE's rebuilding process as they, quote again, enter the next phase of growth at WWE. So then WWE itself, obviously this hit the fucking land. WWE itself delivered a statement on it yesterday, Saturday, September 5th. And the statement reads, quote, much like Disney and Warner Brothers, WWE creates, promotes, and invests in its intellectual properties, i.e. the stage names of performers like The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Big E, and Braun Strowman. It is the control and exploitation of these characters that allows WWE, by the way, exploitation is a wonderful word, that allows WWE to drive revenue, which in turn enables the company to compensate performers at the highest levels in the sports entertainment industry. Notwithstanding the contractual language, it is imperative for the success of our company to protect our greatest assets and establish partnerships with third parties on a company-wide basis, rather than at an individual level, which as a result will provide more value for all involved.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. We're going to start with Nick because he just talked. Sorry. Nick, you hear this, you read this. What's your thoughts, buddy?
I was just moaning.
I did that earlier.
I mean, when you look at the bigger picture, I guess on some planet, I get it a little bit, but in this day and age,
What planet?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Uranus? Because that's where you're getting fucked.
In this day and age, with the amount of exposure and, you use the term exploitation, I'm going to say
I did not use that
of
term. They used that term. That was literally in their fucking statement. Exploitation. It is the control and exploitation of these characters.
The idea of getting yourself over as a wrestler, whether it be by your ring name or your real name or a fucking name you make up every single day and it's different. Their job on some level is to get themselves over, whether that be in the ring. They obviously are doing it through Twitch. They're doing it through YouTube. They're doing it through Cameo. They're getting that exposure. It's just, to me, it's a money grab for WWE. It's them being greedy as fuck. And I personally don't agree with it. I don't know the legalities behind it. I don't know if it's something that they can legally do. I think the whole idea of them being independent contractors is bullshit too, but that's a whole nother story. Overall, I think it's bullshit. It's just simple as that. It's bullshit.
Z.
Well, unfortunately, they are independent contractors, but as independent contractors, they signed an exclusive contract with WWE, which means although they are independent contractors, they can only work for WWE. As far as them doing other things, I mean, that's probably on a contract to contract basis. It sounds like from here on out, it'll be in the contract that they can't do other things. But up until this point, it's probably, in some people's contracts, not in others. Like guys that are lower on the card probably don't have this clause in the contract because the company isn't worried about them making a name for themselves and using it on other places. Obviously, they can do it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made a statement. Like, this isn't, well, can they or can't they? Clearly, they can. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had a press release about it. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Vince McMahon has only lost one lawsuit, and technically it wasn't a loss, it was dismissed. So Vince hasn't lost a lawsuit ever. Even a bankruptcy lawsuit back in, fucking 88 or whatever it was. So Vince doesn't lose. It's unfortunate because, I mean, Xavier Woods sounds like he's safe because Up, Up, Down, Down is an affiliate of WWE. That's why they made a title for it, and he can talk about it on WWE TV. It does suck that in today's day and age, all these other platforms, like this is how the Young Bucks have influenced the business. They used all these tools that other wrestlers are using now to get themselves and make themselves as popular with a whole world of fans, not just the US, like all around the world. And it worked out well for them. I mean, it's part of the reason we have AEW today. So taking that away from them, I mean, that kind of hurts your business in that aspect, because if you have stars that can get themselves over and make themselves relevant all over the world, why wouldn't you want to push that? But again, it sounds like they want to push it, but they want their part. They want a percentage of whatever you get, which is kind of bullshit. But from a company aspect, I get it, and from the talent aspect, like I get it. Like I understand both sides. It's just a shitty situation either way you look at it.
And yeah, it's like they're not saying they can't. They're saying they can't do it personally anymore. Is what they're saying, because the last sentence of it finishes off. It's imperative for the success of our company to protect our greatest assets and establish partnerships with third parties on a company-wide basis rather than at the individual level.
Yeah, they basically want their third-party percentage.
Right, exactly. Smitty, what are your thoughts on this? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Z.
All I was going to say is I'm just curious if this particular clause now will push other talents to go through their contract and not re-sign with WWE because of this, and especially with Impact and AEW thriving right now.
Right. Smitty.
Let my people go. That's what I'm thinking.
Really?
I feel like at this point, if you sign a WWE, you sign a slavery contract almost.
Whoa. I'm going to tell you this right now. I think that's the worst analogy in the fucking world. Because
the word is exclusive.
Yeah, but and the other thing is you don't sign a slavery contract. You just get pulled into it. So you go over this, you're given a contract, and if you choose to sign it, okay, that's your choice to sign it.
Really? You sign yourself to slavery.
That's not slavery, though. You're getting paid, and you're choosing to say, okay, you own my ass. That's it. It's not. That's not slavery.
Get your servitude, then. How about that?
I'll give you servitude. Go ahead, Smitty.
Okay, you sign yourself into indentured servitude, and like what Z said just a second ago about this is going to cause a lot of people not to re-sign. Like, Paige went on Twitter and just said nope after the statement was issued. Like, Paige is making more money on Twitch right now than she is probably in WWE because they're not using her. Like Zelina Vega also has a popular Twitch stream, like so does AJ Styles, and there's a lot of people in WWE that actually have really good popular Twitch streams, or they're actually making some decent money on. So there are people that are definitely not going to re-sign WWE contracts at this point. I just don't. It's greed. It's just straight fucking greed. And like, Twitch is a way. Twitch cameo. That's the way a lot of guys and girls get themselves over.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. This is just, to me, it's stupid.
Well, and that's the world we live in now. I mean, like, there's so many people that have cut the cord and they don't watch TV on a regular basis, and you're trying to get, ultimately, and I've argued this point many times on this show, the average age of the wrestling fan keeps getting older and older, and you're not, I don't want to say catering, but you're not really trying to reach out to that younger generation. And this is how you do it. You do it through Twitch, through Twitter, through Facebook, through all these other avenues. Like you said, Mikey, I think it's Mikey, maybe Z, whatever, the Young Bucks. I mean, the Young Bucks have a following that spreads wider than just wrestling fans. And if I can reach out to that group, and they don't watch wrestling, but they're intrigued by what the Young Bucks do, and then maybe one time they'll watch AEW and or look for some old footage or whatever, and then you might be roping them in slowly. But this, to me, it's an antiquated idea.
So Medusa, Alundra Blaze Medusa, everyone knows her, trash can champion. She went on Twitter, and friend Larry Dallas responded. So there was a good back and forth here. Her first tweet is, nice thing about treating, and this was 20 hours ago, nice thing about treating yourself like a business and not blaming others for what others may seem not legal is taking action. Treat yourself like a business and trademark your shit. And before you sign anything, get a lawyer. Don't like it, don't sign. I love the Medusa name. Larry Dallas responded, in fairness, as beautiful as it is, you guys are saying all these things from lessons you learned. Where was this energy when it was paying dues and struggling to make it? I appreciate it so much, but we need a generation that's currently doing it to say it. And she responded, every fucking night, every fucking match, every fucking contract, every fucking belt trashed, every time I fucking speak. I have been pro-talent preaching, educating with my seminars, etc. Younger generation, now, speak the fuck up. I have lost a lot doing so. Do it now. And he goes, Larry goes, good on you. I went to Japan for my respect and my opportunity, much like you once did. I wish people spoke truth instead of worrying. New world. But we need today's leaders to lead, or it will always be the Wild West. No disrespect, just so frustrating as a whole. And she responded, they are scared and legally bonded. And money, all it will take is one with a big name, one with clout to speak up and make a difference for everyone, one that is still active or that has much connection with the one in charge. And that's what it is. Like, so Smitty, you say that it's all about you're signing your life away, you're doing servitude and stuff, but you're doing all this stuff and you're not doing anything for your own personal brand. So therefore, when you go into WWE, if your personal brand isn't fucking trademarked and stuff like that, WWE has all of that shit on you. It's just how it goes. Z, you were about to say something.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
And okay, so WWE go ahead, Smitty.
I said, but the guys like AJ Styles have trademarked their brand before they got to WWE. So what?
Hence why he's still be able to be AJ Styles, and he has the P1 logo and everything trademarked as well. Yes.
But he's also one of those people they want off of Twitch and Cameo and stuff.
But again, sure, maybe they want them, but can they make them if they have already branded themselves prior to coming in? You could say whatever, we want you off of this, you have this to October 2nd, but someone's contract may say, I can do whatever the fuck I want with my name, because it's my name, period. Well, we're talking about WWE giving talent 30 days to get off of third parties and everything. What are your thoughts on this, sir? What?
Well, hi, I'm here. I figured out. I'm doing
love how Walton Z just, portrait mode.
I'm doing on my phone right now. Yeah, can I?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a little gimmick thing on my.
Neither does Z. Neither does Smitty. He's just looking down on everyone from his bed.
Well, that's the only way Smitty could look down on anyone. I saw that. I don't know the full details of it. My guess would be that WWE, they don't want people using their branded names on any of those sites. I don't know if they could still do those things if they just go off of their actual names, like Lexa Bliss is just known as Lexi Kaufman, or
that's the thing. WWE saying that they own their actual names as well.
Oh, okay then. I don't understand how that works, but okay, sure.
Right, same thing.
It has to be somewhere in the contract they sign. Otherwise, they can't. If there's probably some fine print that some of these people signed without reading that says, hey, we own your name, its likeness, this, that, the other thing. and people just didn't realize they signed it. So now they're probably going through their contract and going, "Oh fuck, they can do that."
We owe
So
your ass.
as it stands right now, just on the front page of Cameo, because everyone's talking about Cameo and Twitch, mainly. On the front page of Cameo, people who are actually signed to WWE who are on this currently: Tom Phillips. There's Indy Hartwell, who is she's a NXT superstar right now. Kofi Kingston, Ashley Flair, obviously Charlotte Flair, Dominic Dijakovic, Alexa Bliss is on there, obviously going as Lexi Kaufman. Scarlett's going on as Scarlett Bordeaux. I don't know if Rey Mysterio's still under contract, but he's on there. Devon Dudley is up there. For page number 2, you have MVP is on there. Kevin Owens, again, going by Kevin Steen, which is his obviously actual name. Next is Keith Lee is on there. Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, Elias, Humberto Carrillo, Matt Riddle. Mandy Rose is on there. Bobby Fish is on there. Ric Flair, I know, is signed for a Legends contract. He's on there. Roderick Strong is on there. Ron Killings is on there. So, and that's just the first 2 pages of it. So obviously these people do have until October 2nd, but seeing as just in the first 2 pages, and I can rattle off 2 handfuls of names, doesn't seem like there's that much going on.
So I got one of those random grab bags from Pro Wrestling Tees. Like, I just did all the pins, so I got 4 random pins, and one of the pins I got is it's Kevin Owens' face that has like the dusty marks on it, but it says Steen on his forehead. And I even thought to myself, I'm like, wow, this is weird. He's in the WWE now. I can't believe they let him sell merch on Pro Wrestling Tees. So now it's starting to make sense of why they're kind of locking it down.
Now, I don't know if he is selling merch. I know every now and then they do it, but it could also be an overstock of stuff, where it's stuff they've had made while they had him, and they just weren't able to sell it. If you're doing a grab bag, this way you're not promoting this person individually. It's just, hey, here's the grab bag. We have a whole bunch of extra shit. Throw it in there, and the money still goes to the person. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But they're not actually advertising Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens.
Gotcha. Smitty left. Sweet.
Well, you know, he fell asleep probably. Up next, we're doing, like we stated, Pro Wrestling Scorecards came at us again and said, well, okay, look, let's throw kayfabe out the fucking window now. You know, we did a great fucking build for it. Daniel hit me up and he was like, man, it feels like another Pro Wrestling Scorecards versus BDR needs to happen, but I want to do something differently this time. And I was like, all right, what about doing it for the rest of the year rather than for one pay-per-view like normal? I said we could run it. We could do winning points just like NASCAR. Number 1 gets 15 all the way down to number 8, because we were talking about 4-on-4 at the time. Number 1 getting 10 points, number 8 getting 0 points. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, but if you got a 5th, we have a 5th, hence Walt. And he was like, that's great. We could do 5. So number 1 gets 15 points. The number 10 gets 0 points. Every event that Pro Wrestling Scorecards is holding through the end of the year. But what's really fucking cool about this is because we want to do something different. We've always done this for fun. We love bragging rights. Look, we beat them 3-0. We love having fun with this because we keep winning. However, at the same time, this is going to do something great overall. We've decided that the winning team is going to pick a charity that the losing team has to donate $100 to. Not all of us are ballers like Z, who's trying to make it $100 a piece. So we're just doing it real easy.
Hey, some of us are out of jobs right now, Z. So
right, leaves of absence and shit, you know.
Hey, you're still getting paid to sit at home, so I would bitch.
So again, that's how it's looking. So we're doing this. We're doing it for charity. We have not come up with our charity yet. Pro Wrestling Scorecards is not coming up with their charity yet, but it started with the All Out 2020. Last night's All Out. All 10 of us went in. Number 1 was Oscar from Pro Wrestling Scorecards. He came in number 1 with 99 points. Nick came in number 2, just a little bit short with 92 points. Jess hit up with 88, number 3. I was number 4 with 83. Jess 88 for number 3. I had 83 points for number 4. Daniel had 76 points for number 5. Smitty 74 points for number 6. 72 points went to Michael with number 7. Mario had 71 points for number 8. Z had 70 points for number 9, and huge AEW Mark Walt came in 10th with 59 points.
Hey, listen, I'm proud of myself for picking Lance Archer to have the most eliminations, okay?
I'm proud that he got a 59.
Right. Walt really does not watch AEW. And I said, like, right off the bat, when Walt made his pitch, he goes, I'm sorry for my poor performance. Like, he knew that he was not coming in hot with this. And that's fine. It's all good because this goes for the entire year. So the next one is Clash of Champions, I believe is the next one later on in this month. And then it moves on like that. So, again, how we did it is number 1 is getting a grand total of 15 points. Number 2 is going to get 12 points. So good job getting us 12 points there, Nick. Number 3 gets 10 points. Number 4 gets 8 points. Number 5, 6. 6 gets 4. 7 gets 3. 8 gets 2. 9 gets 1. 10 gets 0.
All right. With that said, what are the numbers?
Cool. Daniel added it up last night. I have not gone over to double check or anything. But
I'll say you better double check it.
No, Daniel's all really good. Pro Wrestling Scorecards is with 36 overall. Breaking Down the Ring has 25 overall. So we're down by 11 points right now. But again, that's the great thing about this is it makes up, it goes over. We're doing this the entire year. I don't think either team is really going to run away with this. The last time we did it was a heads up, person to person. So in all honesty, man, you know, it's anybody's game. But what I really love about this is us doing it for charity. If you guys have checked anything out on breakingdownthering.com, right now we have our charities up. Our Pride shirt, which donates 100% of the profits to the Trevor Project. And, of course, we have the For the People shirt that donates 100% of the profits to the NAACP Legal and Defense Fund. We've been getting in a little bit more charity because we've all talked about it. Look, no matter what, how much fun we have, how inappropriate we get, the bottom line is giving back when you can is the best thing that anybody can do. And so I'm really happy to be involved in this. Speaking of that, though, and moving on to All Out, Nick, you watched it, brother. Unfortunately, I was working last night. I could not watch it. Speak on it, brother, because there's a lot of people giving a lot of mixed reviews about this. I know you posted something to our Twitter about #BotchMania, and that kind of got some likes. I'm assuming that's referring to the Matt Sydal Shooting Star Press, because that's the biggest one that I've heard things about. So,
did he Brock Lesnar it? Was it like full-blown Brock Lesnar?
I heard he smacked his head pretty hard. So, Smitty came through, changed, and no background. Hello.
All right.
Damn.
I'm buying All Out right now.
Because you want to see fucking the move. Yeah, it's
I heard absolutely Matt Hardy died.
Yeah, me too. Hardy, those are the two things I want to see.
All right, so Nick, go ahead and talk about All
Out. The botch from the top rope was watching it live was pretty funny, and you know, he jumped up there and he just fucking slipped. You know, it really could have happened to anybody. I mean, based on what everybody was saying, it was over 90 degrees there. He was probably stoned. You know, he got up there and he just fucking slipped. It did look pretty brutal. So that was pretty funny.
It did look pretty brutal, so that was pretty funny.
How about the Sydal botch?
Yeah.
If you're listening.
There was a part.
Smitty, he's talking.
Sorry.
There was a part that, and it's going back to what we were just talking about with WWE. Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford were talking about how they're going to be getting married, and this week on Dynamite, they're going to announce his best man. So then at the end of the promo, there was a cue card that came out advertising Kip Sabian's Twitch channel. And on the bottom of the screen, it said AEW does not own any rights to this or something to that effect. Mm-hmm. So it was a good dig at WWE.
That's all they do. So any chance they can, WCW style.
The pay-per-view overall for me, it was a fucking roller coaster. It opened up with the tooth and nail match with Britt Baker and fucking Big Swole. They set the bar real low, in my opinion, for that. I'm just saying, some people might like it, whatever, but they were in a dentist office, and okay, fine.
Yep.
And it was really slow. Like they didn't work really well together. I mean, I know you're in a fucking dentist office, but for fuck's sake, it looked really bad to me. So after that, some of the highlights for me, I'll say, no, you know what? Fuck that. Let's start with some of the low moments. Aside from the fact that Matt Hardy fucking died, and if you didn't see that, you definitely got to go. And like Z said, he's going to order it. He was on a, what do you call that fucking thing? Like, not a scaffolding, like a
Something
lift
where they're going down over the tables.
And him and Sammy Guevara took a fall into a table, and only half of his body landed on the table. So he cracked the back of his head on the concrete. And it looked bad, but the announce team felt really awkward about it. You could tell that they were concerned, and Aubrey Edwards threw the X up, and he got up and he was stumbling around, and you can't tell me that in the 30 seconds that they cut away from Matt Hardy, where the doctor was checking him out, that they had any type of concussion protocol in place that would have determined whether or not he had one. So
now, before you continue, sorry for interrupting, Nick.
No, you're fine.
Tony Khan hit the press conference right after All Out, just like they normally do. And he said, because obviously even Rebby, his wife, was very vocal about them continuing the match. And they said that they rang the bell to pause the match, and the doctor went and checked on him and did pass concussion protocols. And that's why the match continued, and it did not continue at all in any way, shape, or form because Matt Hardy had any influence on that. I don't know. I didn't watch it. You're saying it took 30 seconds for this. I'm going to agree that maybe there wasn't much concussion protocol. It's like flash a light. He's fine. Go.
That's really what it seemed like.
Hey, Billy Bob, how many fingers am I holding up?
It's got to be true or false. Got to be true or false.
Is this man holding some fingers?
I'm broken. It's fine.
Go ahead, Nick.
So, yeah, I mean, in this day and age, the way that major sports handle concussions, it's kind of disheartening to say that, oh, I'll just flash this light in your eyes. And I don't know what they did again, but Matt Hardy being, as old as he is, he can't take bumps the way he used to. His fucking wife was pissed. She was on Twitter posting screenshots from their text messages like, what the fuck, Matt? Like, she was fuming mad. So that really hurt the match, and that's not something I'm mad about. I mean, accidents happen, but that match as a whole, between everything that happened, it just was extreme, turned into extreme fodder.
Drink. He said fodder. He's just laying in his bed, so he doesn't know. Let's talk about Rebby Hardy's tweets because of that. Because, again, she was pissed. Wow.
Apparently she gets pissed a lot.
But wow, man, let's just talk about this. So the screenshot that she posted is a text to him. He had texted, he goes, "Love you. I gotta hit the football field in just a minute to start our match. Hope you enjoy." She goes, "I love you. Don't be dumb." And she goes, "What the fuck? You practically cleared that table. What the fuck, Matt? What the goddamn fucking fuck?"
All caps.
All caps. And she goes, "Let me be," and this is the tweet with that screenshot. "Let me be absolutely fucking clear. There is nothing entertaining about a concussion. Shame on everyone in that goddamn building." Someone replied, "More Matt Hardy's choice than anyone else's in the back. You should stop pointing fingers at every single person always." She quoted that tweet and said, "Reading is fundamental, you absolute asshat. Matt was the number one idiot in this scenario. I'll let you figure out who number two was. Also, fuck you." Then 34 minutes ago, Rebby tweeted, "They needed additional imaging done after his CT. He's still in the hospital. 1,000% concussion. Anyone with eyes could have told you that, though." And yeah, she's showing a video where it's just like, I don't know if you guys can hear that
Yeah.
or not.
Well, and then
Hold
after
on.
that, he stood up and he looked like he was fucking hammered. Just he
Right.
didn't know where he was.
And that's the point of this. Like, he's going to stand up and you're going to see him he's just falling.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was done. And yeah, look, dude, if Nick, you had a concussion and something happened, I'm pretty sure your fucking wife would be pissed as well. Z, if you had a concussion, I'm pretty sure your wife would be like, all right, whatever. Smitty.
My hands
I'm
don't
talking about
care.
she probably gave me the concussion.
That's why I was like, all right, whatever. Smitty,
That's why there's a hole in your wall.
Smitty, you would never have to have a concussion because your hair is not tight enough for it to do anything but soften any type of fucking blow to your head. Walt, same thing. If you flipped out, Katie would be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? So I get it. We get the anger.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to knock it in any way, shape, or form. Rebby Hardy has every fucking right to worry of the fear, the health, and everything of the father of her 2 young children. 3 young children. Sorry, that's right. I forgot there was another one that came. But that's crazy. And that they even kept that going. And then for Tony Khan to come out and say that I think this is it. Yeah, here goes. I was concerned Matt could be hurt. I rang the bell this is Tony Khan's quote. I was concerned Matt could be hurt. I rang the bell to pause the match. When the doctor checked him, he passed him and cleared him on the concussion protocol. He checked with Matt, and then Matt came back after and passed the concussion protocol. He's doing okay. I spoke with him after the match and talked to him again just now. He went as a precaution to the hospital to get some tests and check that he's okay. But looks like he's okay, and that's why the doctor cleared him to continue. It was not something that any of us enjoyed. It was a scary moment, but the most important thing is that Matt is okay. We're all really glad about that. Again, that was the media scrum right after All Out. And Rebby Hardy's tweet fucking 37 minutes ago said they needed additional imaging done after his CT. He's still in the hospital, 1,000% concussion. Anyone with eyes could have told you that, though. Smitty, did you watch this? Did you watch All Out?
I got to watch pretty much most of the second half. I was kind of trying to find a way to watch it, and I ended up going to my buddy's house.
I don't need the explanation. So did you watch this?
I caught the back end of this match.
Okay, but did you see the fall?
Yeah, I saw the fall, and that's
okay. So your thought process on watching it and seeing the ending of and how it played out. What were your thoughts?
First of all, I want to say kudos to Matt Hardy for finishing out the match. No, I say just like as a professional, finishing it out. AEW needs to fire the on-site doctors because I like Rebby's right, 100%, 1,000%. You saw this man had a concussion from that fall. So I think the AEW need to hire better medical staff in general at this point.
This isn't the first time AEW has had problems with stuff going on. I mean, there was, when Ty Dillinger, who left WWE because he wasn't being used enough on TV to go to AEW to not be used enough on TV. He hit,
but he is on TV. He may not be doing anything, but he's on TV.
In the audience, good guy.
Right.
He's actually heavily featured on Dark too.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. So is Xavier Woods. So when he cracked Cody Rhodes over the head with the chair, and the back of the chair hit the back of Cody Rhodes' head, therefore busting him open because it was an unprotected head chair shot. Everyone was pissed. Even AEW's fans were like, marks were like, that's not cool, should not be done. There's a reason that's outlined, all these concussions, so on and so forth. And then to have Matt Hardy overshoot the table to where his head cracks the cement, right? And then they say, yeah, I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming the flash in the eyes is what they can do in 30 seconds to try and figure out if you have a concussion. They also said that he had no concussion after the match when they did take him and they went to the hospital for precautions. But again, I don't think anyone in their right state of mind should have allowed that to happen, even from just a little video clip we showed right there, right? I get that you want to say kudos to Matt Hardy, but I think that's a bigger fuck up on Matt Hardy's part. Because while people finish, wrestlers finish injuries, you know, in their matches, you know, Triple H tearing his quad, you know, Vince McMahon tearing both of his quads and sitting there and
Stone
pointing and
Cold,
everything.
like
You
Owen
know,
Hart breaking Stone Cold's neck.
right. You know, and that same thing, like they even had a real hard time finishing that match. But a concussion is way more fucked up than tearing a muscle, breaking an arm, hurting yourself. Your brain is a completely different fucking thing. And there's no fucking reason that Matt Hardy should have finished that match. That one should have kept that X, in my opinion, and kept the bell. Z, what are your thoughts on him finishing it up? And are you in the camp of Matt, or in the camp of Rebby, or in the camp of Tony Khan?
I mean, I only saw the clip you just showed. It looked pretty brutal. I understand Rebby being concerned, you know, your wife, mother of his children, of course. Dude, I don't know if AEW did everything they could do in that moment to make sure he didn't have a concussion. I don't know if they're lying about it, or even just not even lying about it. Maybe like with all the adrenaline pumping, like it didn't seem like Matt had a concussion until it all started wearing off, and he was like, "Oh fuck, I got to sit down." I don't know. I wasn't there. You know, it's really hard to say. But my one concern, because we talked about it, you know, how long will it take for you to be sold on AEW? And all of us said about a year, and here we are a year later. And I think the one downfall of AEW is by doing all of this crazy stuff they like did in Japan and shit, they're putting their bodies at risk, and people are taking more brutal bumps. Like there is a reason WWE does the things they do and outlaws the things they outlaw and uses the style they use. It's to protect their workers from shit like this as much as possible, unless you're come down from the ceiling and they want to use a sailboat clip. Yeah, so really, I mean, it's that whole, you know, there is a method to their madness, and this is why. Shit, I've watched Matt Hardy his whole career. This is not the first time Matt was out on his feet. Anyone remember 2004 SummerSlam? Edge and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's face slips off his hand, hits the pole, and he's out on his feet, and they actually had to call the match. Yeah. So I'm actually okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I found the clip of him falling. So we'll play this real quick. Again, they're on top of the thing.
Oh my God! He's looking for the side effect. The side effect on that.
Oh. I'll show it again.
The side effect. The side effect on that.
Like, I'll let it see the bottom of the screen because it looks like Guevara landed on his head as well.
The side effect on that. Somebody's gonna get hurt here.
That's not that bad.
He's looking for the side effect.
It looked like Guevara landed more on Matt than anything else.
And that's the thing is I'll put the tweet. I'll send the tweet in our chat so you guys can anyone who's not using their phone right now can check it out or check it out after. So the whole thing is, I agree. It doesn't look that bad, but when you're watching it in there, you can say that Guevara kind of landed like here on Hardy. So it's not so much that he landed on Hardy's head, he kind of landed on his chest. So obviously a wrestler's supposed to tuck their chin when they hit, so their back hits, you know, that's just, you know. But if you can't tuck your chin, your head's smashing the concrete if it's a 10-foot fall. And that's looked like what it was. And obviously with what Rebby Hardy tweeted out in that video, he was gone on his feet and stuff like that.
That's kind of what I felt when I was watching it live. Like Z said, oh, you know, it didn't look that bad because it really didn't. And when I was watching it live, I had to replay it because I was in the kitchen getting something, and Tracy was like, "Oh shit!" And I heard them talking about it, so I replayed it really quick. And I saw when you're watching wrestling as an avid fan as we are, like you said, Mikey, You know that these guys will tuck their chin to avoid injuries to their head, neck, whatever. You could see that he didn't, and like then the aftermath, then that made it feel worse than what it was, and you were like, damn, he's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Walt, will you have any thoughts on him continuing the match and everything like that?
I mean, to me that fall, and look, I was just watching it now, and it looks bad, and for him to like he's clearly not there. And if that's a UFC fight, if that's a boxing match, if that's a hockey game or a football game or something, that they stop it, or he would have been removed, without question. So I feel like that if this happened in WWE and like it was like, and they just let someone continue, they would get a ton of shit. Mostly because more people would have watched it instead of the 26 people that watch AEW.
27, sir.
Oh, sorry, 27.
28 now.
Yeah.
He still didn't watch it live. He doesn't matter. He doesn't count for the Nielsen ratings.
No, but seriously though, all joking aside, I mean, if whatever their concussion protocol is, it's clearly a concussion protocol from 1997, not currently, right? So maybe they did follow a protocol, just not a current one.
Yeah, it's real rough to watch, even Cena. All right, so Nick, continue. You talked about the Matt Hardy thing. Is there any other lowlights you want to discuss?
Let's see, lowlights.
Well, just because you said you want to start with the low, so if you don't have any more and you want to go to the high, go for it.
No, not really. I mean, there were a couple matches in the beginning that were, just kind of boring and just kind of there. But some of the high points made up for it in a way for me. The Mimosa Mayhem match, didn't really know what to expect from that, and it was a fun match to watch. It was a little sloppy at times. But it's fucking Chris Jericho and it's Orange Cassidy. And the two matches that they've had previously were really good. So, you were going to get something on par, maybe a little less than that out of this one. And it exceeded my expectations. It was kind of fun to see them. They had two giant vats of mimosa, one on each side of the ring, to kind of see them teetering back and forth. And it kind of made you wonder, like, oh my God, is he going to fall in or whatever? And then the spot at the end where Jericho, finally landed in the one bat was great. It was a fun match. The highlight, I gotta say, for me was Moxley and MJF, and I really didn't expect it because Moxley's not the greatest wrestler in the world, and MJF is really good in the ring. I didn't know what to expect. I had low expectations, but the fact that they put on the show that they did, there was great storytelling in the match. Both guys looked really good. They worked really well together. It was a longer match than I thought it would be, but it didn't feel that way because, again, it was good to watch. I was happy with the ending, the way that it all played out. So it was a good way to end just an okay pay-per-view for me.
Can we talk for a second about how underappreciated Jericho was in WWE, because his ability to get people over is unreal. Like, look what he did with Hangman Page. Right. Like, he could get a broomstick over, literally. Like, done it. But I'm just saying, his contribution to the next generation right now in AEW is amazing. Like, he is probably their best weapon right now, because of the stuff he's doing with Orange Cassidy right now is amazing. He got Hangman over. He turned Hangman into a guy that was over into a main eventer. Like, he just has this ability to make everybody around him better, and it's amazing.
Yeah. They had a whole inner circle. Like, he's molding Sammy Guevara. Santana Ortiz were an established tag team, and now they're actually getting some real exposure under Jericho. Even though I really hope they do more with those two guys because they're amazing.
I'll be very honest about AEW. It's really funny if you look at this, right? I said in the beginning that I was worried about AEW. I was like, man, I just feel like it's going to be a lot of central booking. A lot of people are going to be wondering why, like how the talents are doing it in WCW. And it turns out that they're doing what WCW did, but more of the aspect of these are the guys we're bringing in. These are the guys we're putting over. All of their titles, okay, right now, outside of the women's title, are held by people they brought in from WWE this year, right? Now, granted, I also agree that these are the bigger names, right, because they came from WWE. But you have Jon Moxley, you have FTR, and you have Brody Lee as your champions, a.k.a. you have Dean Ambrose, The Revival, and fucking I can't even remember Luke Harper as your champions in AEW. Now, look, I totally understand that you put titles on names to get more exposure, to bring people in. But it also doesn't do much when you force people that should be in title contention, but fast, and then kind of kill them. We shit on WWE for that all the fucking time, right? MJF has now had a title opportunity, and regardless of how he looked, he is technically your kind of homegrown AEW guy, right? And he is, in my opinion, immensely more popular than Moxley because of what he does as a heel. A lot of people hate MJF. Now would have probably been an all right time to put a title on him, to give like Cody Rhodes was your first TNT champion, right? Granted, the first tag team champions were SoCal Uncensored.
SCU.
Yeah, so but then it went to Hangman and Kenny Omega, who have just held it. Not really doing much with it because they did a lot of stuff as the Elite. They did the Elite versus the Inner Circle. Sure, you may have saw them defending on television, but what do you especially when you say our tag team is going to be the highlight of our show, and it's like an 8-man tag team, 10-man tag team, 6-man tag team. Your tag champions aren't really defending, and it's held by your boys, the EVP of the company. Go ahead, Z.
I get that, but I have a feeling that the reason they held those belts was culminated in what happened last night between Hangman and Kenny Omega.
Which is fine if you're building a story for that. But at the same time, tell me when the last time we talked about a tag team title defense for AEW was. It was literally the fucking Dynamite right after their last pay-per-view. And I don't remember it again.
Oh wait, no, they just had a defense against Best Friends, and then Private Party. I mean, they did defend it quite a bit on Dynamite. Maybe not on pay-per-views, but there's been there was at least one defense against Private Party and one defense against Best Friends, and that was like within 3 weeks of each other.
So okay, it doesn't tell me how many defenses. But they held it for 228 days since
COVID.
Yeah, January 21st, 2020. So, okay, maybe I'm shitting a little too hard on them because there's not really much you can do during COVID. I thought they held it for a little bit longer than that. But again, March and April seemed like 4 years apiece of this year. So it's maybe I'm leaning a little hard on the tag teams. But again, even still, 3 of your 4 champions are WWE guys you brought in. When are you gonna do something to make your talent look stronger? Like, do something with your talent.
I think it needs to happen now. I think that if they're gonna do it, they've waited too long already. And if you're gonna do it now, you gotta do it like coming up. Like, I don't want to see these transitional champions, but I think the next time these belts change hands, whether it be the tag title, the AEW, TNT, whatever, it's got to go to one of your homegrown talents. And I think if they don't do that and they keep bringing in like, oh, let's throw the TNT title on Matt Cardona, like, okay, fuck that. They got to put it on some of their home.
Whoa. You're out of them, Walt, man. Walt's got a Woody.
It's actually woo woo woo, not whoa whoa whoa. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, okay, so you put the TNT title on Matt Cardona, WWE guy, one of Cody Rhodes' highest thought of people. Like, he loves, they're best fucking friends, right? They go to Disney World together all the time.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not. My problem is I think Ryder Cardona deserves all of the accolades. I think he's been one of the most underrated performers in a very long time. I think he's gotten the shaft more than fucking female porn stars have in the last 3 years. He just in WWE, he just took it, right? They gave him moments. They give him moments, but they didn't give him runs. You know what I'm saying? That Intercontinental WrestleMania moment, gorgeous, wonderful.
I'm
Gone.
still convinced
Top of
he
the night,
wasn't
probably.
supposed to win.
Oh yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't supposed to win that.
That's why he dropped it on Raw the next night, because everyone in the match was like, all right, Zach's going to take this one, and we're just all going to eat shit tomorrow.
The tag title run with him and Myers, it's, again, they gave him little moments. They didn't give him runs, So I really hope that he does something in AEW for a while, right?
Like Brody Lee.
I hope he gets a title and does it. Like Brody Lee, you're right. He has been given the Vince McMahon character, right? He is basically what he's doing is how he was treated in WWE. And I'm very honest, it's over. If you're watching it, you go, that's pretty funny. You're still poking at Vince McMahon. But it's enough to where obviously the AEW Mark fandom loves ripping on WWE. It's one of their favorite fucking things to do. So it makes sense that he's really over in that company and really popular.
And
but again,
the Brody Lee thing, like, I was not sold on the Dark Order, even when Brody Lee joined, I still was not really sold. What he's done what he's done since then, the Dark Order finally grown on me, and that's one of those things that we all thought was. It's one of those things that we all thought was one of those things that AEW was reaching for, and the Dark Order's coming to its own over the last few months.
And yeah, I'll agree with you. It's very similar. I think of the Dark Order right now is very similar to how the New Day was in WWE. When the gimmick first debuted, you're like, what the fuck is this? And then the people involved took it into a different direction. And I mean, obviously they're not what the New Day is, but as far as the beginnings to the transition, it's the people involved that took it and made it much better to maybe possibly take it as a faction very down the line and last for a very long time.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Sorry.
Maybe.
So the idea of Matt Cardona holding a title, whatever title may be, we mentioned the TNT title. That's cool, right? And you want to see him have a long run with it or whatever title it may be. But at the same time, it's, I'm hearing, well, all AEW has are these ex-WWE guys that are holding titles. And it seems like, where's the line you draw with, like, these WWE guys are cool holding titles, but like these WWE guys aren't cool with holding titles. So I'm okay with it over here, but I'm not okay with it over here.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm still wanting AEW to use some of their people. The Matt Cardona thing is just a 100% personal want of mine. It's not even like I'm wishing him to have the TNT title. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, like, Cardona's, if they're going to do it, don't do it and just, like, rip it away from him. He deserves a run if you're going to give it to him. However, I still feel like they need to do something bigger with these titles, especially like the AEW main title. Look, I get Jericho taking it right off the bat. You put the name on it, you get the ratings for it, stuff. But then Jericho drops it to Moxley, and then Moxley isn't dropping it to MJF yet. I'm not saying it's not done. I didn't watch it. I don't know how that match ended. Was it a wonky finish, Nick?
No. The idea was Wardlow hopped up on the side of the ring and he threw the AEW diamond ring in, and MJF couldn't find it, and the referee was trying to get Wardlow off the ring. Moxley hit
Paradigm
shift,
which was banned,
even though he wasn't
banned for the match.
Even though he wasn't supposed to use it, and won that way. So
it's a wonky finish.
But it was a wonky finish, kind of. Like, not in wonky in the way you're referring to wonky. It was kind of like a dusty finish where you're going to continue. Well, no, okay, hold on. Let me finish my thought. It's a way to continue their feud. Like, he won the match, but he used the move he wasn't supposed to use, but the ref didn't see it, so it counts. So it gives them a story to either continue their feud or pick up somewhere down the line.
And that's what I meant by a wonky finish. It was not like there was a DQ or anything involved. It was something that maybe Wardlow did something, and then that's exactly what I meant. Something to continue the story on, to use as a launching pad for the next match. So yes, it's very possible MJF takes the title the next time. You know what I'm saying? But I agree, that's what they have to do. They have to eventually start putting their people as your number one spotlight people.
You're
it's
right.
like they have to.
Quick question. How do you feel if it was Lance Archer instead of MJF? Because Lance Archer won the Battle Royal.
All right, but hold on, man. Because I really hate this argument that, like, oh, we're putting the titles on WWE guys. Or I go on these wrestling sites all the time. They're like, oh, they just keep filling them with former WWE guys. Well, WWE was built on former AWA guys. WCW was built on former WWE guys. Like, everybody comes from somewhere.
What a current WWE product is built off pretty much ROH.
But okay, to my point. Brody Lee was not a WWE guy. Luke Harper was. Brody Lee was Brody Lee before he was Luke Harper on the indie scene. So, yeah, he made a name for himself in the WWE, and that's probably why more people know him. But his character is completely different than the one he played. The only person right now that have similar characters to what they did, what is Matt Cardona and Zack Ryder. All he did was basically change his name and his gear a little bit. And FTR, because they've always been that old school tag team. So now they just have Tully Blanchard behind them, which makes a hell of a lot of sense. Everyone holding a title.
Go ahead.
Go on. Okay. Well,
I was just saying,
everyone holding a title right now basically deserves it, except for maybe Jon Moxley, only because whether he's Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose, whether he's an awesome technician, I personally find him boring as a champion. I find him way more fun when he's being like, not a psychopath, so to say, but like a madman trying to get the title. That is entertaining me. Once he has the title, he bores me. It's bad. But as far as like, should MJF do it? Should Lance Archer do it? Well, Lance Archer is a New Japan guy. That's not an AEW guy. Like that's how I feel about the WWE argument, where these are
WWE Lance Archer more of a TNA guy, because I remember him as Lance Hoyt.
Yeah, whatever. Let's judge them on what they do a year from now as AEW guys, because AEW seems to give their talent more creative freedom. So this is more of a sink or swim. Like, let's see if Zack Ryder was really as over as we say is, because if he can do it then, he can do it now, and he'll have more creative freedom. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see these guys grow from being released by WWE. Like, I want to see if they were really, really held down or if they just truly suck.
But okay, so what I'm saying when I make this argument, right? It's, look, these guys got their names, got their fame from WWE, and it's not like they came into AEW and have had a major run before they went into a title, right? Like these guys, like AEW's been around a fucking year. Let's be very honest, okay? And so when I say they're giving it to former WWE guys, it's because these guys are riding the high that they were just like people wanting them out of WWE to capitalize more because they deserve better. And that's fine. They do deserve better. But you have people that came to AEW in the inception of it that we also wanted treated better from WWE, aka Ty Dillinger, you know what I'm saying? Who aren't right. Pac, that's a fucking travel thing. Yeah. But there are people that were there before these guys who are just being thrown back into the back, and while these guys who are riding their high off of current releases are being shot to the stratosphere in AEW. And it's like, you guys have, I get that it's the name and it's smart and it does bring more eyes onto your product. But eventually, if you're going to do that with a few of them, one of your titles needs to be featured by one of your guys that you have basically built from inception. So at least when people are coming in to watch how Brody Lee or Moxley got these titles, there's someone else there that they go, oh, let me see who this guy is or this girl is, which granted they're doing with the women's division. And we've said Sheeta from the match with Nyla Rose is spectacular, right? But again,
Great
it's
match
not,
last night, by the way.
but that's one fucking person that you have that you're showcasing out of your 4 titles. And again, I'm not saying these people don't deserve it, but I'm saying you have to do something to where when people are watching, they're also watching your people. So it's not talking about, man, look at fucking Brody Lee and AEW doing everything WWE wouldn't look. Look at FTR. They're winning tag team titles and doing it the way they want to in AEW. Look at Jon Moxley getting a fucking title, a real long title run, and he's having these fights. What are you saying about an AEW guy? Like, oh, and then there's this AEW guy that's really good too. That's how you extend your brand. Like, I understand.
I just Scorpio Sky. So
just extend your brand. Now, Z, go ahead. And this will be the last couple minutes of our show, folks.
All I was going to say was, from a business standpoint, though, it's not a bad thing because now with everything going on in WWE, you have all these WWE talents that may be on the verge of their contract expiring or whatever, looking at AEW like, even look at Impact. Eric Young is now the world champion, and he was just released by WWE.
But he's a TNA guy. I would never, like when Eric Young was in WWE, he's a TNA guy.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying. It shows that these guys can go to other promotions and make a name for themselves. And the thing about it is, the people holding the championships right now are people that, if we were in WWE, they would also be holding titles. So, they are championship material. But guys like Brody Lee he even said it in an interview on Busted Open that he likes the position he is in right now because now he can give back to the younger generation and help get guys over. And that's part of the reason, I think why they put the title on him. So they'll have him hold it for a while. And the guy that goes over on Brody Lee, because they're actually doing the Brody Lee character very, very smart and very, a lot of psychological shit. And it makes sense of what they're doing. So you have him hold it for a while. So then the guy who goes over on him is the next star of the mid card. And that
he's also getting Anna Jay over in the Dark Order right now too.
Yeah. So yeah, whoever goes over on Brody Lee, and when they do, make it an AEW guy. But it makes sense for at least the TNT championship to have a name on it because you're promoting TNT. It's an AEW championship, but this is the guy, our TNT guy. So yeah, you want to put a name on it so that everyone, if the casual fan is flipping through the TV going, oh, hey, Luke Harper's the champion. Oh, he's not Luke Harper anymore. Oh, shit, this match is pretty good. That's how you draw people in.
Right.
And they're still in the building stages. They've only been in Inception for 1 year, 18 months.
A year and a half. It was what? Yeah,
I think Double or Nothing, it was announced, and then All Out was the first pay-per-view. And then the show.
No, Double or Nothing was the first pay-per-view.
Okay, yeah. So whatever. So 18 months, whatever. So you're still building your brand. You're still trying to draw eyes to it. And once you have people watching, that's when you build your talent. This feud between Hangman and Omega is going to be fucking amazing because that match is going to be incredible. And people, no matter what championship match you're watching, I guarantee that match steals the show.
I can see that.
So, I think the slow build here for their talent is the way to go. We've always talked about it. A storyline is always better when it's given time to blossom. Same with young talent. So those are my thoughts.
Go ahead, Nick. You're about to say something.
I think you guys made a lot of really good points. And, when I look at it and I see these ex-WWE guys coming over, and I threw Matt Cardona's name out there just as a name, somebody who recently has come over from WWE. I agree with Z. I want to see if they really can shine in a company like AEW, or even if they were to go to Impact. But in this case, we're talking AEW. I get tired of seeing these comments about guys like Cardona, or Brody Lee when he was Luke Harper. I see comments like, oh, this guy was a jobber and he was shit in WWE. Yeah, but not really to his fault. It wasn't his fault that he wasn't getting properly booked. He was sitting on the fucking bench. Matt Cardona is a good wrestler, and yeah, I do want to see what he can do. Ty Dillinger is a good wrestler, and it's kind of disappointing at this stage in AEW. He's just kind of like, coming out of the curtain and waving every so often, but whatever. But
Zack Ryder was the original person to use the internet to get himself over and then got punished for it.
Yeah,
Right,
Long ZI store, whatever it was called.
Long Island IZ, the Z True Hollywood Stories.
Yeah.
But I do want to see these belts change hands. Like I said before, now is the time. Like when we get to Full Gear, I don't want to see Moxley as champion anymore. I think the quintessential AEW guy that you need to make your next big name champion is certainly 100% MJF. And, that mixture of AEW guys holding titles and WWE guys holding titles, I think that starts that transition. I think that MJF 100% needs to take that title at Full Gear.
So, Nick, what do you think? What do you rate All Out overall out of 10, sir?
6.5.
Okay, that's not bad. Still a little bit above average. Smitty, from what you watched, what do you rate it, sir?
I give it a 7 in general.
Okay, so that's because he didn't watch the first half of it, apparently. Going forward, Smitty, what are you hoping to see out of AEW with what's currently happening in it?
I think just pretty much the whole TNT and world title picture needs they need to work on what talent they're actually putting in there. Because I do like the fact that Lance Archer is in the title picture. Like I agree that MJF is probably one of your biggest attractions in AEW right now. I'm really interested to see what they do with the TNT title and who are they going to put it against Brody Lee in the future in an actual feud or actual kind of story. The tag team division, I feel is really flourishing. In the women's division, they're still going through growing pains to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy watching the women's matches a little bit more in AEW nowadays. So, and get some of these guys that you got featured on Dark on television more.
Okay,
and that's pretty much my take on it.
Sounds good.
The Sean Spears and Scorpio Skies and those guys.
All right, everybody, make sure you go check out All Out so you can understand what we were talking about. Z and I will definitely check out All Out so we can understand what they were talking about as well. Again, go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com, everyone. ProWrestlingScorecards.com. You get yourself a free digital pass to the beta. It is wonderful, man. We did it, obviously, last night, and do it with every one of them. The Pro Wrestling Scorecard community is fun. All Out had 178 people fill out that card. So you're seeing what you can do against 178 people. Walt did not come in 178th, no matter how low that score was. We appreciate that. He came in 170th. That's not bad. Luckily he didn't beat Cam Bryan. He beat Cam Bryan, Ashlyn, Jay, Strelo, Ches Tef, Inethol, Moltar, and Rolling Piggy. He beat Rolling Piggy by 1 point. Good job. If you go to the digital scorecard, you can see how many times people have won in the community. They're starting to do that. Our own Z.
Somehow Z
is it's one of two people to have the two-time champions, be two-time overall champion. I believe the times were Fight for the Fallen. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Z won Full Gear 2019 and TakeOver War Games in 2019 overall. So good job, man. We'll send out a congrats to you.
Like I've always told you guys, I don't need our stupid fucking title to get over. But it also doesn't matter that there was probably only 10 people in the community.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm pretty sure Smitty's the champion now.
Yes,
I haven't
I
added
am.
everything up.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's still not getting the belt. COVID. Sorry, COVID. Can't give it to you.
You delivered to me at work.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't ever see you at work. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
see
You're
what
John Cena at work.
happens, Smitty? Smitty, what happens is he has to send it out to get sanitized now. Like there's this whole COVID protocol. So it'll be a month before you get it. So in order to get the belt, you have to win next month.
Yeah, you got to kind of hold it. So now the whole thing about it is, Smitty, I would love to give you the belt, but you have a tendency to do things that are very unsanitary with our title belts. So during COVID,
I'm not getting laid right now, so you don't got to worry about that.
You could jerk off onto it, sir. I don't know. I just don't believe. Smiz.
Not that lonely.
Smiz all over it.
Not that lonely, asshole.
Did you just say you're not getting laid right now and you're not that lonely to jerk off?
Not on a belt.
Damn, man. I'm in a relationship. I haven't jerked off in a very long time.
All right, I would like to call a vote right now. Smitty's never allowed to touch the belt again.
And that's kind of why he's not touching it. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Officially squeezed.
Go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com. You go ahead and sign up for the free digital beta. You can get yourself involved in this. You can see our community. You can see how we're doing it, breaking down the ring alone or with breaking down the ring, BDR versus PWS. Just obviously, it's a whole bunch of fun. Do that. You go to breakingdownthering.com. We're going to have that site updated within the next couple of days with brand new champion, the scores that we had for the entire month of August, and so on and so forth. We will have everything updated. You can also click on our official merchandise, go to our charities, make sure you support the Trevor Project with the Breaking Down the Ring Pride tee, or the NAACP Legal and Defense Fund with the For the People tee, or just buy one of our other stuff, man. It's a hoodie season. We got our hoodies up there. Get yourself a hoodie. Stay warm and shit, brah. That's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for just paying attention to us. We are your ring crew.
Mitt Flair Drip, champ, Smitty.
Koenig 19.
Just a plain white Z.
And I am the all Mikey one, Mikey himself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We are